Forgeman finishing at a colossal rate from last. Short on Forgeman, prepared by Frankie King, by Valley Forge from Mudder, Mrs. J. King, M. Zori and Miss I. Narodowski. The connections are Chestnut Gelding, a 6-year-old, Frank King, the trainer, Dale Short, the rider. Forgeman, Tavros hitting the wire together ahead of Scott's Lane. And it's a dead heat to the last for the day. All right, that's about it, Pete. What a way to go out for the day, a dead heat in the last. The print couldn't separate them. And Tavros and Forgeman, 2 Caulfield horses. And Scott's Lane, of course, is 3rd, and it's a Caulfield galloper as well. 4th in is number 13, Stewart's Event, and 5th home, number 5. And that was Royal Scepter. A dead heat between 7 and 11. 6 has run 3rd. It's a dead heat by a length and a half, 127.7. And on that note, we'll come back to you, PD. Thanks for your company, and we look forward next time we race with 7.
Good on you, Brian. Brian Martin, our commentator out there at Caulfield today, and Brian can give the binoculars a well-earned rest now. Certainly a couple of close finishes out there at Caulfield today. None, of course, closer than the last event where it was a dead heat between Tavros and Forgeman, with Scott's Lane in 3rd placing. On the card, the South Australian Oaks, and the winner here, Lady Liberty, number 1, paid $1.95 and $1.15. Camilla, number 10, $4.05. Too Faithful Thought, $3.45. Cornella was $24.65, and the trifecta $556.45. Now the Melbourne extra double this afternoon on the combination of 7 and 7, Cherry Hills and Remwasane, paid $68.25. $68.25 the extra double. Daily double 2 Braquillo and 9 Coup de Theatre, $166.85. And as far as the quadrilla is concerned, 7, 2, 5 and 9, Remwasane, Braquillo, Raj Quartet and Coup de Theatre, $2,472.40. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you the quad extra dividends, but it might take a little bit of working out. Thumping Collingwood in the last quarter, 17-17, 119 to the Magpies, 11-9-75. And Melbourne, despite the fact that they were hopelessly off target throughout the day, they still won by 21 points. Melbourne 15-21, 111 to Hawthorn, 13 goals, 12-90. So Geelong, Fitzroy, Essendon and Melbourne, all the home teams successful in today's 7th round of VFL football. Now they're set to go in Sydney. They've just jumped. Here's Ian Craig.
The length, Mount Curl a little slow, and best to begin was Prince Invader. It's about a neck clear on Valid Reason. The 3rd is Garuna, then Killer Khan, Shining Hero, caught wide Mont Blanc, then Mount Curl, Burst of Colours, followed by Mr. Aries, and behind those next is Masala's Sun, Tropical Prince. Jury Box second last, the favourites last, Nakoma. At the 1200, Valid Reason just leads Prince Invader, who's on the inside. Garuna 3rd, 4th Killer Khan, Shining Hero 5th on the inside, then Mont Blanc a length and a half. Further back comes Mr. Aries, followed by Tropical Prince, 2 lengths to Mount Curl, and then Jury Box, Masala's Sun. Second last, Nakoma, Burst of Colours last of all. To the side of the track, nearing the 850, and Valid Reason, the grey, just leads Prince Invader on his inner. 3rd a length back is Garuna, followed by on the inside Killer Khan, actually a horse off the rails. Mont Blanc wider out, back on the inside is Shining Hero, a length further away Tropical Prince. Mr. Aries on his outside, 2 lengths then coming Masala's Sun, and then Jury Box ridden along from Mount Curl. Nakoma still second last and whipping them in Burst of Colours. Down to the corner they travel at the 500 metres. Prince Invader with the inside running, again kicking up to shade Valid Reason. 3rd is Killer Khan, and travelling 4th Garuna. Shining Hero trying to get out, and a length further back in the field is Mr. Aries, Tropical Prince to the inner, and 2 Nakoma. Valid Reason just in front of Prince Invader at the 200. A length and a half to Shining Hero, weaving into the open. It's Valid Reason on the outside, and Prince Invader, a mammoth duel coming up here. Prince Invader the inside doing a shade better than Valid Reason, and Prince Invader. Prince Invader just beat Valid Reason. 3rd home was Shining Hero, followed in by Nakoma, ran home well but ran out of ground from Tropical Prince, Killer Khan. Then came Mr. Aries, further back Masala's Sun, Jury Box, Garuna, Mount Curl, Burst of Colours, and Mont Blanc was tailed off.
Numbers in the final event in Sydney will be 1, 2 and 7. The winner, number 1, Prince Invader. Second, number 2, Valid Reason. And 3rd, number 7, Shining Hero. 1, 2 and 7. The placings on the last event this afternoon at Randwick in Sydney, where Ian Craig has been your commentator. Well, it's certainly been a big day of racing up there. As of the month from George Michael Sports Machine.
Let's go around the world of sports. And of course, we start with springtime, a little celebration of the rites of spring, also sometimes known as baseball. We start with the best catch of the month. Glenn Braggs of the Brewers, To the Wall. would leap and would rob Mike Pagliarulo of a sure home run. Hey, Pags, you have one coming to you, man. Almost catch of the month, or what a difference a year makes. Last year, Kirby Puckett makes this catch. This year, off the outside of his glove, it's a home run. The best catch by a fan came down in Houston, where this fan would reach right over Astros left fielder Billy Hatcher. Now watch the fan. He says, hey, nice try, Billy. Nice try. Good effort, good hustle. I got it. What do you think Hatcher's saying to him? Right, we won't say those things on TV. Worst catch by a fan. Check this guy out in Anaheim. He drops the ball. Whoops, it hits one beer. It hits two beers. $7 worth of beer and no baseball. Tough way to make a living, man. Surprise of the month. Ellis Burns of the Red Sox, who comes in. Now, where is the baseball? I don't know. Ellis, where is it? Just where it's supposed to be. Still the best glove in the game. Ozzie Smith of the Cardinals. Is there a better thief on the infield? The Wizard of Oz. The best disappearing act. Mike Pagliarulo of the Yankees. Hey, Pags, you made the highlights twice this month. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. The Not Welcome in the Dugout Award to Ken Williams of the White Sox. Whoa, there goes the ball, the glove, and everything else along with the inside. How about the slide of the month? It goes to Corey Snyder. He's out, right? Nope, forgot to tag him, and then he gets his foot on there. Corey, heads up play. The hockey shot of the month. Mike Gartner would knock out Greg Stefan right in the face mask. Down would go the Detroit goaltender. Second toughest shot of the month. John McClain, who would knock out Pete Peters as the Devils would end up knocking out the Washington Capitals. Jim Schoenfeld, you're my coach of the year. You couldn't have done any better. The Who Woodchopper Award to Mike Keenan of the Flyers. Nice shot, Mike. Hey, how about the most intense coach of the month? Did you beat? Don't bother me right now. I'm working on my team. I'm trying to get them Islanders back together, man. Cheap shot of the month, Marty McSorley, who speared Mike Fuller to the Flames down and out to the hospital. The headbutt of the month. Check this out. Dave Hagen of Wichita headbutts Hugo Perez of San Diego. Basketball shot of the month, Dennis Johnson of the Celtics. Watch this shot. Just like he was playing a game of horse in the backyard. What a shot by DJ. Fastest visit to the scorer's table. Well, see, they didn't count that basket. So he goes over and says, I'll make him count the basket. Dennis Johnson gets right in there, man. Messes up the coffee, right? The KO of the month. Billy Young on Roland Cummings. Watch the once. He'll hit him twice. And you don't even need to hit him the third and fourth, but he did for good measure. Then the ref says, get out of here. No celebrating yet. Surprise punch of the month. Watch the guy. Watch the referee. Once, twice. Johnny Walker hooks Tony Perez with a pair of lefts. The punch of the month. Is there any tougher than this? I want you to watch George Masonette, who will now deck Hugh Kearney. Watch the right hand. Once, twice, and down he goes. Boom, boom. Nice imitation of a punching bag. Wipe out of the mud. Down he goes. Yukio Oshima. Free ride, free car wash for his bike. The best somersault of the month. Hey, this was a great shot, Gene Littler. It's got to be the best reaction we've seen this year in the world of golf. It's great to see golfers who, instead of saying, yeah, I knew I had it, say, holy cow, did I do that shot? The golf shot of the month does go to Curtis Strange. Folks, it's every golfer's dream to one day get a hole-in-one. But to get a hole-in-one in the Masters, what you do is you take the ball out, you throw it in the pond to make sure that that ball will be on that hole for the rest of golfing's master history. The best dive of the month, Amy Alcott, after winning the Dinah Shore Classic. The quote of the month, hey, we got a quote this month, to the Road Warriors on why they so devastate and destroy their opponents. Their creed, their motto, their role, their way of living in life is explained thusly.
As we snack on danger, we dine on death. And George, dead men don't make money.
What can you say to that? Okay, and there you have it. Forgeman number 11, 1770 and 645. Tavros, 345 and 185. Scott's Lane paid 85. The Cornella was 216.40. Trifecta 711.6, 753.20. Trifecta 11.7 and 6, $1,025.20. The running doubles, ending with Tavros 9 and 7, 56.70. Ending with Forgeman 9 and 11, $412.35. So there you have the totes on the last event at Caulfield. Now we've got correct weight in Sydney, weights right in Sydney, 1, 2 and 7 on the last event there. Almost ready for the last in Brisbane this afternoon. This is the Elders Bloodstock Handicap, and we have no scratchings, a field of 14. Just about set, as you can see, and we're standing by to join Wayne Wilson for his call of the final event. And Wayne will be getting ready. Previous event went to Lots of Rule in a very tight photo from Mirrabin and Cool Report. So let's go to Wayne Wilson now for his call of the last event.
At Isle of Mars, a little reluctant about going in. Minotaur is still back behind them. Proudest Moment took a little while to move into line, but he's in there now. Garrison stands up well. Another attempt is made with Isle of Mars, and they kid him into it this time. Isle of Mars has moved forward. He goes in. Minotaur will be the last one to link up. Minotaur coming up towards the gates. Minotaur lines up now. The harness racing coverage coming up tonight from Albion Park. All in set now. Line's good. Ready to jump. Light flashing away on top of the gates over there. All ready to go. They're racing now. Off to a pretty good start. Francisco Kid began quickly and Let It Rip is showing plenty of speed in the early part. Garrison's going quickly with Dreams Are Free and Herdsman. Never Too Close is nice and handy. Proudest Moment about midfield on the outside of Turvey. Isle of Mars, Minotaur. Perseus getting well back with Mr. Shaw, King Scorpio and Black Blazers last of all onto the first bend. 800 metres to go. Let It Rip just in front of Garrison and Dreams Are Free trapped out very wide, 3 deep at the moment. One to Never Too Close, who's 3 wide as well on the outside of Francisco Kid and Herdsman. A break of 2 lengths. These leaders must be going quickly. A break of 2 lengths to Turvey. Then Proudest Moment with Hall riding the ears off it at the moment. Then Perseus on the outside of Mr. Shaw. Minotaur's a long way back with Isle of Mars, King Scorpio and Black Blazers last coming around the home turn. Let It Rip and Garrison, the joint leaders. They're a length in front of Dreams Are Free. Francisco Kid just behind them. Herdsman getting a beautiful run on the inside. Never Too Close and Proudest Moment pulled out wide. He's running on strongly. Plenty of chances. 200 metres to go. Kenny Russell moved up on Francisco Kid and went to the lead. It's Francisco Kid in front. Coming after him, Proudest Moment on the outside, but I think Russell's going to do it. Yes, he is. Francisco Kid first, Proudest Moment second, Turvey probably third, followed in by Perseus, who made up ground. The next one home was Never Too Close, and then Let It Rip, Mr. Shaw, Black Blaze, Herdsman stopped quickly after passing the post, and then Garrison, Minotaur, King Scorpio well back. Oh, I think Herdsman's broken down badly. Oh, yes, he's busted. He's shattered his offside hind leg. And the last 2 over the line, Dreams Are Free and King Scorpio.
OK, 4, 1 and 14 as called by Wayne. Francisco Kid with Kenny Russell aboard the winner from Proudest Moment number 1 and 14 Turvey should get third. 4, 1, 14 as called by Wayne on the last event at Doomben this afternoon, the Elders Bloodstock Handicap. And shortly we'll have the interim dividends. Francisco Kid holding on to win there. He's in 95, Shining Hero $3.55. Now, for some reason, we don't have the Quinella and Trifecta as yet, but they should be notified pretty shortly on the numbers 1, 2 and 7 there on the final event in Sydney. OK, well, as we told you earlier, there are a few upsets in VFL football. So far, if you've got 5 out of 5 in your tipping competition, I think we'd like to borrow your crystal ball because there were a couple of upsets today. Let's have a look at the way the ladder stands with still 4 teams to play, and they play tomorrow. But Melbourne has gone to the top of the ladder with 6 wins, 24 points, and the Demons up on top. The West Coast Eagles, after their big win last night, are second. Carlton now third after their shock defeat today. Collingwood beaten today 4th, and Hawthorn beaten today in 5th spot. So it certainly is a very interesting top 5. Geelong and Essendon both have 4 wins, but Geelong with by far the superior percentage of that pair. Now, Footscray play tomorrow. They, of course, play the Brisbane Bears up in Carrara. Fitzroy getting their 2nd win of the year today. North Melbourne to play tomorrow against Richmond. Then Sydney, Brisbane, St Kilda and Richmond have the chance of climbing off the bottom tomorrow, of course, when they do lead North Melbourne. But the top 5, Melbourne, the West Coast Eagles, Carlton, Collingwood and Hawthorn after round 7 of VFL football. Now, they're moving into the stalls in Adelaide for the running of the last there. Peter Smith has been our commentator throughout the day, and we're just waiting to hear from Peter for the final event, the Copper City Provincial Plate, over 1,600 metres, Game Master and Wise Comedy, numbers 11 and 13, the scratchings in a field of 20. And they've got about 18 of them in the stalls, Spudman and Namketa, the last couple. Peter Smith is just getting ready for his commentary, and here he is.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, $1.75 the favourite Alien on the TAB. As they're all in now, 4 field in the last. 1,600 metres the journey. They've moved in nicely, no major problems with any of them. Just waiting for one or two to settle, but the light's on. They're set and they're racing in the final event today. And Coach Road was one of the first to show out. Rhythmic Russian was away pretty well with Lady Moselle. Fair Teppo. Mozzie Bite towards the inside was driving through in the early stages. Iglesias, should say Scorndale was up there. They're followed then by Skyfell back on the inside. Swift Tide going forward. Out wide of Meadows Pride from Impulsive Lord. Getting back a bit then we've got to Real Dazzler, Nam Quitter. Aliens back in the second half of the field at this stage. Iglesias a fair way back there with Spudman, King's Report. Well back at this stage would have been Revelia. And back towards the toe we've got Dyson and Laboute on the air was last of all. Past the 1,000-metre mark now. Coach Road takes over by 3 parts. In second placing, working up nicely to be placed there was Starcade. Lady Moselle was next. They're followed by Fair Teppo around the outside. Behind runners next along Mozzie Bite. In the centre, Rhythmic Russian. They're followed then by Scorndale, Swift Tide. There also would have been Nam Quinner back on the inside. Skyfell from Impulsive Lord. Alien trying to improve now around the outside. Further back then to King's Report. Further back then behind horses Dice in. The inside Meadows Pride from Iglesias well out of it with Revelia, Spudman and Laboute on the air out wide. 400 metres to run now. Coach Road the leader but racing up on the outside to draw level now with Starcade. They're 2 or 3 clear of Lady Moselle. Fair Teppo the outside. Wider out starting to wind up. Scorndale coming home strongly from Rhythmic Russian. Alien right down the outside. Scorndale went to the front inside the 100. Alien out deep there, followed further back in the field then by King's Report, Lady Moselle and Skyfell pushing through in the centre, but Scorndale wins the last. Scorndale 2.5 on the line. King's Report got second. Skyfell for third. Impulsive Lord was late and finishing on to fourth. They're followed by Fair Teppo, Lady Moselle, Alien. There also would have been Revelia. Next along in the run then, Real Dazzler, Starcade tied from Rhythmic Russian, Dice in Coach Road. It got tied with Mozzie Bite, Swift Tide, a fair way back in the field from Meadows Pride, Nam Quitter, Spudman, Iglesias, and one of the last ones in and always back towards the tail was Laboute on the air.
Well, one of the emergencies getting a start, and there he is going to the line. Scorndale, number 21, defeating number 18, King's Report, and number 7, Skyfell, should get into third placing. The numbers as called by Peter Smith, our commentator today, 21, 18 and 7, and the interim dividends on the final event. The winner Scorndale, $4.20 for the win and $1.60 for the place. Second, King's Report, $4.10, and third, Skyfell, $3.30, 21, 18 and 7 the placings on the final event at Morfordville in South Australia this afternoon. And that just about brings us to a close today with racing from Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide and also Brisbane. And here's a couple of people we haven't seen for a while, Jenny Chapman and Robert Heffernan. Thanks for your company today anyway.
Thank you very much, Pete. Have you enjoyed it, Robert?
Yes, I have. Been a different way to spend a Saturday afternoon, that's for sure.
Is it easier or harder than riding?
Oh, I'd rather be riding, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, all right, well, I hope you're back to a winner. And, of course, thank you to Blossom House for my jumper and the leather skirt. And we'll see you next week. OK, thank you to both Jenny Chapman and Robert Heffernan. The good news is that we look forward to seeing you next week. The bad news is you're paid by the word today, so your pay's going to be about $3.30. Oh, well. OK, Jen, we'll see you next week. I've got in the bank anyway. Never mind, settle down. OK, that's about it for racing today, and we look forward to your company next week, as we say. Well, the news coming up at 5:30 tonight, 7 nightly news. Don't forget, Saturday night replay at 6 o'clock tonight. Some great sporting action with Sports World tomorrow, then the footy. Hope you can join us here on 7. Good punting in the week to come.